This is In Touch with Terry, a power-packed podcast for the medical aesthetics industry.
I just discovered your podcast, and I feel like I've hit a gold mine.
This is someone who's got a lot of knowledge. She's been there, done that.
Terry Ross is a former Fortune 500 executive, international speaker, founder and co-CEO of Apex Platform, and Terry Ross Consulting.
Just listening to her energy and her passion and just how hardcore she is.
Her knowledge of the industry and just her connections in general are phenomenal.
In Touch with Terry will bring you solutions to increase operational and employee efficiency and practice profitability. Plus, feature some of the top industry experts as guests.
The Apex team literally changed the game for us.
Terry, your courses and your podcast are just so helpful.
She made me feel like I could do this.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Now, here's Terry.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of In Touch with Terry, where we are going to talk about something. I'm going to get raw. I'm going to get down and dirty because probably over the last couple of weeks, I've gotten so many questions about people selling the value of the consultation and what it means. So the topic of today's podcast is the value of the consultation, but it's you versus you, and you really getting sold on you and your value. And I just want to repeat that again. The value of the consultation, you getting sold on you and you versus you. And the reason for this is, if most of you guys have heard me, and thank you again so much for tuning in, for listening, for subscribing, for sharing, for commenting. These podcasts are all about you, but they're also from a place of passion and desire and relentlessness in what I believe, based on best practices that I have seen over the past 15 years and what works and what doesn't. And when we think about the consultation, you know that that is one of my staple talks that I give at over 22 societies and conferences in the industry. And it's really about the opportunity that as a provider or a physician that you have in the room with the patient, the one shot that you have to build trust, to build rapport, to talk about your credentials, and to stand out. And so if you don't believe in that process, if you don't believe in you, if you don't believe in the purpose of the consultation, if you don't believe that your obligation as a provider is to meet that patient, not talk to them just about the one thing that they may have scheduled for, right? But to believe that the value of your skill set and your expertise is to be able to educate me, the client, on the possibility to get the best outcome. I want to repeat that back. The purpose to go see any doctor, whether it's a cardiologist, an orthopedic surgeon, your dentist, your OB-GYN, this is plastic surgery, this is medical spa, this is aesthetic medicine, but it is still medicine, which means most people need more than one thing to get the outcome they desire. But in order to do that, you have to take a beat. You have to take a step back and convince yourself and believe what the value of the consultation is to you. Again, are you a high volume or are you luxury? What kind of clients do you want to come in the door? Who is your avatar and what kind of people are coming in the door? And what is the value that you put on your expertise in order to get to know the patient so they have the best outcome? I say this often, people don't buy the breast dog or the tummy tuck or the liposuction, the cool sculpting or the Botox. I don't buy that. What I do buy is the emotions around how I'm going to feel when I get it. I buy the result, I buy the outcome. So your ability in that consultation process, you have to get to know me down and dirty. I teach at our Apex platform and in our sales training curriculum, the top 11 questions that if you did nothing else, if you learned a communication model called LAYER, listen, acknowledge, explore, and respond. And if you took that opportunity to listen 80% of the time, ask the right questions to uncover my need. We have to get down and dirty, right? Why did I come in? Why today? How long has it been bothering me? How has it affected my life personally, professionally? What am I willing to do? What have I done in the past? Did it work? Yes or no? Why or why not? How committed am I to not feeling a certain way? I didn't even say anything yet. You just asked questions, and we have to believe. So when I said that this podcast is you getting sold on you, you have to completely convince yourself and believe that selling yourself, that you are superior to all of your competition. That is the value and that is the patient experience. That's the 5-star that you're going to be giving someone when they have multiple choices. They can go to anybody on the corner. Right? I talk about Beverly Hills a lot in a 3-mile radius. There are 300 people plus all doing the same version of something. What are people really buying? They're buying the outcome. They're buying the experience. It's never about the money. They will pay 20% more. But again, you have to be so diligent and believe that the value and the expertise and the training and the education that you provide as a provider in the consultation is the right thing to do. I can't make you believe that. I wish I could give people the innate talents and traits to say, like, this is just the right thing to do. But I promise you, it is your professional obligation. It's what clients want, and it's what they are willing to pay for. You know, when clients try to shift the consult and say to you, oh God, that's too expensive, or that's not really what I was expecting to pay. And then you kind of back down and talk about something else or give them a lesser value thing. I really want you to take a pause. Don't do that if that's not what you believe. You must know that most clients, again, need multiple modalities to get the outcome that they want. So if you get really good at your ability to ask questions and really peel back the onion as to getting to know me, and we can do this, guys, in about 30 minutes, okay? We can really do this when you get that good at it. And I divulge and articulate my vulnerabilities to you. And I share with you how I'm feeling. And my feelings are what's going to drive you to say, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to sell this less expensive thing, or I'm not going to sell just this laser or just this filler or just this one surgery when I know that they won't be happy. So it's the difference between being transactional versus being fully intentional in the purpose of what you're doing. Many of you guys know my sales career started at Verizon. I wanted to be in medical sales my whole life, and I had to get sales experience. And my career took me to working for J&J and Ethicon Endo, and I was in cardiology. I was in oncology. I've been in really every therapeutic area. I got into aesthetics in 2007, but I have sold capital equipment in the OR for multi-millions of dollars. I've sold products that were way more expensive than my competitors. And candidly, the truth is that I've gotten more money. I've gotten more money from people because of one reason. I believe so strongly in my product, in my skill set, in myself, in my ethics, in my reputation, my level of care, my level of training. I am relentless in learning something that I believe in, and the service that I know I am committed to give my clients, right? Knowing that I have the best product. And that is how I have reached pinnacle success in my career. And that has allowed me, and that comes from a very humble place, you guys. That's not, patting myself on the back. Most of you know, like I'm a white girl from the Midwest. I'm from Detroit. I've worked very hard. I come from a blue collar family, one of the few to go to college, and I have hustled to get to, a VP level spot in medicine when back in the day it was like only men. And that has allowed me to transition my career when I had the medical spa in Beverly Hills that sold, because I know people ask me, well, why did you get out of it? It sold to a big chain, a very, very big chain. But that has really allowed me, having that medical spa for 5 years, working with practices since 2012, helping them to launch, grow, and scale, be able to sit in on thousands of consults, be able to listen to thousands of phone calls. And There's no place or time for mediocrity. There really isn't. Like the level of conviction and relentlessness that you have to say there is a lot of competition. This is a commodity. But the fact that you can be different is something that, again, you versus you. What are you willing to do? What do you believe in? What do you stand for? What's your contribution in your practice? What is the culture and the mindset shift that you might have to make to say, I've been doing it this way? Maybe you put blocks in front of yourself. Maybe you're the one that says, oh, well, that's not what Terry came in for. Or maybe they can't afford it. Or I'm not going to give them this whole plan because it's just too much. That, you guys, that's not true. It's really not true. I train for a lot of companies as well. And they often ask me too, how do I get my product to be in the conversation? Well, as sales reps for an organization, where does your product fit in the life cycle of the business? And then that goes really back to data. What kind of practice are you calling on? Like what percent of the time are they doing that particular thing? And then do you ask what the value is that the practice gives the consultation? What is the credence there? Do they give it that same value? Because whether or not your products, your company, your services are worth more money or not, again, you have to decide and ask yourself, am I the best of the best? Am I the best surgeon, the best NP, the best PA, the best esthetician, the best owner, the best whatever? How am I willing to run my practice? What are the expectations I expect from the girls answering the phone to get that conversion because I paid for it? What do I expect from the consultation when I do the inquiry to consult, and then they don't close? Shame on me. Something's wrong. Why didn't they close? What happened? What was the breakdown in the consultation process? Because if you are giving your best value and you believe in the things that I'm really trying to say, this isn't me making it up. This is the difference between a patient going, holy shit, that was the best consultation ever. I have never had anyone tell me that. I've been going down the street getting the same thing, which leads right back to retention and lifetime value and increased revenue per hour versus, right, I am going to treat this differently because I want retention. I want my patients to come back. I want to make a lasting impression that no one really does. Because again, we don't look at this business like that. So you have to be utterly convinced, okay, that what you're selling, and you have to almost become unreasonable about it, period. You guys see in my voice, in my tone, in my inflection, I am relentless on stage. I am relentless in my belief. I'm relentless in the company and what we provide, because at the end of the day, I only care about one thing. This is truly, most of you know, I'm a single mom. My daughter's 9. I travel almost every 2 weeks, but I do it for you. The mission and the vision of our organization at Apex Platform is that we want to give you the tools, the resources, the training, the coaching, the tribe, the community, so that you can get the best outcome. If 90% of people don't measure the data, what does that say? And then if training is what everybody wants, because there's nowhere to go to get it. There's no MBA school. Conferences are amazing. It's not tactical, down and dirty how to do it. It's information. It's theoretical. And then we go back to the practice and we get busy and we just don't execute and implement anything. And I say this often, right? If your kid needed a tutor, if he wants to be the greatest athlete, are you going to go get them the best of the best? Of course you are. Of course you are. I have had coaches my entire life for things I don't know because I want to be better at it. So this has come up like over the past 2 weeks, more than normal, whether it was from companies asking me, how do I up-level my product? How do I up-level my reps? Practices saying, how do I improve my efficiency? How do I improve my revenue? How do I improve my conversions? It's less about all of the shiny toys and equipment and website and CRM and all these external things. Those things matter. Same with Apex. We designed Apex, right? Because as a consultant, right, what am I doing? I'm trading time for dollars, and I could not scale and I could not help as many people. And when COVID hit and Terry Ross Consulting went up about 70%, it really became apparent that many people struggle with running an efficient practice because they don't know what to do. And so I hope I can be the holy grail for you guys in some way, shape, or form. And we have enough case studies that, again, it could bring me to tears, happy about, because when people are ready to make a change, these are the small things that can help you differentiate yourself. So a few stats I want to share. It came back that 86% of patients expect providers to offer a pre-treatment plan. Guess how many did? 14%. That is so bad. That is really, really sad. What does that mean, though? We have such an opportunity to grow. 91% of patients expected a post-care plan. 30% do it. In totality, that's less than 50% are doing a treatment plan. You guys, this is not what is going to make you different. That is the problem. So back to this impetus of this podcast. You have a shot. You versus you. You have an opportunity to say, I'm not willing to do things the same way that I've been. I believe in my position. I believe in what I do as a provider. I believe as an owner, you have an opportunity to step up and say, wait a minute, I'm going to expect more. I'm going to analyze the data. I'm going to invest. Okay, invest, there's a return on that. An expense, there's nothing. I'm going to invest in making my practice different because I want a different outcome. So if you want patients to return, if you want them to have this 4 seasons, 5-star customer experience, if you want to increase your revenue per hour, if you want to increase lifetime value, if you want to do less but get more, then I say it's to the degree that you are sold, you will sell. So the bottom line is, if you are not selling to some degree, you're not sold. You're not sold yourself. And there's a reason behind that. So I hope that you guys found this podcast informational, motivational, transformational, because this is for you and this can transform your practice. So I'm going to say it one last time. To the degree you are sold, you will sell, meaning you will educate. You will take the time. You will do a treatment plan. You will do combination therapy because you believe it's the right thing to do. And if you are not selling, if you are not educating, then you're not sold. That's not your philosophy. That's not your belief. So ask yourself, why not? And what's possible if you did? Thank you guys so much for being with me today. I'm so honored always for the opportunity to share my knowledge, my personal journey, my story, my vulnerabilities, my strengths, my successes, and open it up for you to reach out to us. Again, you can join our Aesthetics Insights Facebook group. You can drop me a line in my DMs. There'll be links to the podcast notes. And thank you so much. I will see you on the next episode of In Touch with Terry. Ciao, guys.
Thanks for listening to In Touch with Terry. We invite you to schedule a discovery call with our Apex team. The link to apexplatform.com can be found in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of In Touch with Terry.